Imagine a piece of agricultural land. Years ago, it was used entirely for farming. Over years, housing began to appear, transform the landscape into the residential area. Yet, officially, the land is still registered as agricultural land. What happens when the actual land use changes, but the registered land category remain the same? Could this affect the amount of land revenue collected by the state? This question inspired my research. Hi, my name is Alisa Binti Hairul Bukhari from the Bachelor of Surveying Science and Geometry. Today, I will represent my research entitled Estimation of Land Use and Land Category Mismatch in Unauthorized Residential Development on Agricultural Land for State Land Revenue. Let's begin with a simple question. Should land tax determined by how the land is actually used or by how it's officially registered? In Malaysia, land administration is governed by the National Land Code 1965, where the land parcel is assigned registered land category. Quit rent is assigned based on the registered category, regardless on how the land is currently being used. However, in many rural areas, agricultural land has gradually been used for residential purpose, while the registered category remain agriculture. This creates mismatch between the actual land use and official land record. As a result, landowner continue paying agriculture quit rent even though the land is being used for the residential purpose, potentially reducing the state land revenue. Therefore, this study investigates the impact land use and land category mismatch on the state land revenue. The studies was conducted in 6 selected sub-districts in Perlis, namely Sena, Jejawi, Kechor, Padang Pau, Haya and Abi. The sub-district was selected because they contain area where the agricultural land is currently used for residential purpose while remaining registered under the agricultural land category. To achieve the aim of this research, 2 objectives were established. First objective is to identify the land use and land category mismatch using satellite image. Second objective is to assess the potential state land revenue by applying the actual land category. The research methodology contains of 4 phases. First phase is a preparation stage. A literature review was conducted to understand the previous study related to the land use mismatch and land revenue. In addition, semi-structured interview was conducted with the officer from the land office to obtain professional insight and support for the research finding. The second phase involved data collection. Landsat 8 Level 2 image for 2015 and 2025 were collected. The image were used for produce the land use land cover maps and perform change detection. Additional information, including mismatch location, current quit rent data, was obtained from the land office. The interview findings also help validate the identified mismatch area. During the processing stage, land use land cover analysis and change detection was carried out to identify the agricultural land that had been converted into the residential use. Next, the current quit rent was calculated using the registered agricultural land category. The potential quit rent was then estimated by applying the residential land category on the same land parcel. Finally, the result was analysed by comparing the current and potential land revenue. Map and charts were prepared to clearly present the land use changes and the estimation increase in the state land revenue. Let's first look at the land use land cover maps. This map compared the land use in 2015 and 2025. From the comparison, residential area has expanded while the agriculture land has been converted into the residential development. These changes indicate that land use has evolved over the 10 years. Now, let's take a look at the land changes. Figure 1 presents the changes detection result between 2015 and 2025. The map clearly shows the location where the agricultural land has been converted into the residential use. The accompanying chart indicate that the largest land use transform was from agricultural land to the residential development. This converted area represents the land parcel where the actual land use no longer matches the registered land category, highlighting the land use and the land category mismatch. Now, let's see for the revenue assessment. Based on the registered agricultural land category, the estimate quit rent collected from the identified land parcel is 1,305 and 12 C. However, when the same land parcel are assigned using the residential land category, the estimation quick rent increased to 119,635 ringgit. This represent potential increase about 118,330 and 88 cents. This finding clearly demonstrate that land category mismatch has a substantial impact on the amount of state land revenue collected. Overall, the findings show that the agricultural land has been used for the residential purpose between 2015 and 2025. These results show the mismatch between the actual land use and the registered land category. Some residential properties continue to be taxed in the agriculture category, leading to the lower state land revenue. This finding highlight the importance to ensure the registered land category reflect the actual land use to support to a fair and effective land taxation. To conclude, this study demonstrate that the changes land use have the important implication for the state land revenue. When the agriculture is used for residential purpose, without updating the registered land category, the amount of quick rent collected no longer reflect the actual use for the land. The findings show that applying the appropriate residential land category could increase the estimation state land revenue. Therefore, remaining land category is essential to support effective land administration and ensure a fair land tax system. To conclude my presentation, thank you very much for your attention and your time.